Hey, good morning everybody. If you're new here, my name is Paul Taylor. I'm the owner and operator of TCI Development. We're a building contracting company located in Southern California. We're back out here in the beautiful Temecula wine country. If you've been following along, we're working on a 4,000 square foot custom home. We've been covering this from ground up, and we're going to cover it all the way to completion. If you watched my previous videos, we had our combo inspection, okay? That just means we have attic ventilation, rough-in plumbing, rough-in electrical, fire suppression systems in. All of our heating and air ducting is all in. So all that passed, and the next inspection we have coming up, today is Friday, the next inspection we have coming up is next Wednesday, which is going to be our insulation inspection. So prior to that though, one of the most important things that you can do before you get insulation installed is make sure that all of the studs are not bowed and they're straight. So my guys are here now doing stud straightening, okay? What that means is if the stud's bowed, they're gonna furrow it out, and if it's bowed out, they're going to plane it with a planer. Super important. I mean, nobody wants to see wavy, crooked walls. That's track home work. That's not the way we operate. So if you're gonna get into contracting, or you're gonna become a contractor, if you don't do stud straightening on a wood framed house, you're doing the owner of that project a serious disservice. So we're gonna go ahead and cover that right now. I'll go and get some pictures of what the guys are doing, and I'm gonna cover everything that you need to make sure is done prior to placing insulation. Because once insulation's in, if you need to run new electrical outlets, or you need to run some more plumbing, or you forgot a light switch, or you forgot a can light, it becomes extremely difficult to have to remove itchy insulation. Nobody wants to touch that stuff. Ugh. So, especially after that. So after insulation inspection, so next Wednesday, we will have our insulation inspection, which will pass. And then after that, we can place drywall. But one important thing you want to make sure, look up at all the can lights. You know, I pointed out in the previous video, one of the most important things to me in running my company, everything has to be straight. Everything has to be in line. Everything has to be the same distance off the floor. I don't want crooked. I don't want anything that's out of alignment. If I can see it, the homeowner can see it, or the homeowner's guests will see it whenever they have a party or entertainment. We don't want that to happen. So prior to putting the drywall up, you want to look at all your can lights, because once the drywall is cut around those can lights, you're not moving them. So right now we have them all set in place and we have them tightened down. They probably haven't moved, but you don't want to assume, you know, because you have a lot of workers working here, right? We had the can lights put in, and then we had our fire sprinklers put in, and then we had our plumber up there doing his plumbing. So, you know, somebody could have bumped one of them. So what we're going to do, we're going to go inside here, cover all the important things that you want to make sure are completed prior to insulation and prior to drywall. Okay, so we're gonna go in here and see what exactly these guys are doing in regards to stud straightening. You can see the giant mess on the ground here, okay? What he's doing, he's coming through with a planer. She has this planer right here, right? Planer has a sharp blade on the bottom. He comes through and you can see what he did right here. You can see where the stud was bowed out and he planed it. Okay, he planed that block, so when you look down everything, nice and straight. So, same over here. All of these, he's already done right here. You see this right here? He puts a straight edge on it, and we plane every bit of that. See, he puts a straight edge. He's putting a straight edge on it to make sure it's not bowed out. He puts it across all the studs to make sure there's no airspace showing. See? Because every bit of that, if it's crooked or it's bowed, that's going to transfer through to the drywall, and you'll see it. You'll see wavy walls. Okay, we don't want it close, you know. Oh, that looks okay. Maybe that's good. Yeah, that should work. No, none of those are acceptable. It has to be nice and straight, no bows, no indentations, okay? You can see he's already planed all these right here. You can see where it's white. Here, okay, an example. This is a furring strip, okay? So this one, he planed this block down. This one bowed in, so he put this furring strip, okay? This is super, super important. Now, you can see the need to do this prior to insulation. Once insulation's in the walls, you don't want to be planing anything because that's going to make a giant mess. All these wood chips you see on the floor, see all this planing that's been done? I had this whole entire house nice and clean. Look at all that wood that he's planed off. This is super important. You come through, do this prior to insulation, okay? One of the other things I covered in the previous video, you saw where I sealed the whole entire house up. All right, you can see right here, I put the foam on the gaps where the drip screed nails to the bottom of the house. Now, I went through and I counted all these bays. So if I didn't put sealant down there, okay, that is not code and regulation. I just do it on every project. I think I mentioned that a can of that stuff cost $12. I did the whole entire house. I showed you where the sunlight was shining through. I measured all these bays. If I did not seal those gaps, that would be the equivalent of a 4 by 6 foot window being left open when you have your heating and air conditioning on. That's how much air would escape out those gaps. So, number one priority, seal up all the gaps. Keeps bugs out, spiders out. Okay, there's a furring strip on the bottom. You see it right here, right? Furring strip on the bottom. Okay. Everything is nice and planed. The last thing we're going to do here, I mentioned about the can lights. See, I went through and make sure none of those have moved. They're all centered, right? So you come down here and look at them, right? They're centered. None of them have been bumped. None of them have moved. You want to make sure all the outlets that you wanted in here, you want to get with the owner, right? I'm going to have a video on collaboration coming up. You want to get with the owner and say, hey, anywhere else that you want an electrical outlet? I've asked him prior to this. I asked him months ago. He said he's fine with the way we have it. But once drywall goes in, you don't want to be whipping out a Sawzall or a multi-tool or a drywall knife and cutting drywall to put in a new outlet. It's easier to do it all now. So you want to go through, if you're a contractor, okay, or if you're the homeowner, you want to go through, have a meeting, and discuss if you need anything else before drywall goes in. So we're looking good here, okay? We have all of our low voltage, all of our electrical, stud straightening's going on. The very next thing my guys are going to be doing, okay, they're going to come through and put, okay, right here's an example. You see how the heating and air is nailed to the truss? Well, we need backing on this side. So they'll come through and they'll nail a block across and across there, and they'll block that all off so it has nailing around the perimeter, okay, because you want that nice and nailed off and tight so when they put the register on, there's no airflow going through or leaking through. Okay, super important. Go over here, point out a couple more things. Like I said, every bit of this you want to do prior to getting your insulation installed. You recall way back during the framing, you see the backing right here. This backing right here, okay? I put that backing in the wall, and I could go, there's a house being built right around the corner. I could go down there and show you. I guarantee you there's no backing. What that's for, you have a hot water heater that's going on this platform, okay? I beefed up the platform. You can see I put this pressure treated lumber right here. My guys beef it up because this is a 50-gallon hot water tank. Okay, when that's full of water, this tank's gonna weigh about 600 pounds. Okay, in California, code and regulation, because of earthquakes, there has to be metal straps, 2 of them, around this hot water tank. Now, most people put the strap around the tank, they drill a hole in the drywall, and they just put drywall anchors. Okay, everybody knows California is an earthquake state. Do you really think that those drywall anchors with those 2 straps are gonna hold a 600-pound hot water heater full of water? Not gonna happen. Okay, now I know in the Midwest, you guys have tornadoes, okay? Over there on the East Coast, you guys have hurricanes. I mean, You can put backing in your walls, but it's not going to matter. Your house is going to end up in a different county anyway. So I have my guys put backing in the walls. So when we put straps, and there's backing behind this wall right here. This is a shear panel firewall, but if you go around right here, right here, so the backing is right here in this wall for that hot water heater. Okay, so that's super important. You know, you want something solid in the wall. So when you put those straps around the hot water heater, you run some bolts through there, right? And it's nice and solid, and it's gonna hold that tank. I mean, it depends on the size of the earthquake, and hopefully we don't get an earthquake that big that makes that tank fall, because that would probably be a 9.5. We don't want that. Okay. Look in here, make sure nothing moved, nothing was bumped. Our fire suppression system is all pressurized, and so is our plumbing. So we have no leaks. You know, we've had our plumbing pressurized for a few weeks now. Our gas line has been pressurized for about a month. Still no leaks, so we're good to go on all that. You just want to look around, make sure you've covered everything. Okay, I talked earlier about make sure that you have everything where you want it. If you're the contractor, make sure you get a hold of the owner, you know, and just because they might not know what they want, you need to give them options. Make sure you get a hold of the owner, talk to them about where they're going to place TVs. For instance, right here, we just added this yesterday, okay? We put this in yesterday because the owner decided they wanted a water softening system here. So we had to come back and cut the plumbing, right? We had to solder this in. This is a loop-through system, right? And that'll get tied into the equipment when it's here. But we went ahead and put this plumbing. Now putting this in, running this cold water to this system would have been very difficult if we had insulation in here or if we had drywall. We would be cutting drywall. So I brought it up to the owner. Hey, is there anything else you're going to want in here? And he said, yeah, actually I decided I wanted a water softening system. So we put it in yesterday. And then again, here's backing right here. Here's backing for those straps, right? Backing for the straps that are going to hold that hot water heater in place. We don't want that ever falling over on anybody, especially if we have an earthquake. Okay. Look around. We looked around, made sure all of our fixtures and everything are in line. You can see down here our can lights. See the can lights up there in the ceiling? Okay, those are perfectly in a perfect straight line. All of that's taken care of. Go over here and check out what's happening on this side. All of our outlets and switch boxes are all in. Everything looks good. You can see all the planing that took place. Look at all the wood chips on the floor. Straightening studs is extremely important if you want a high quality finish on your project. Like I said before, if you're a contractor or you're just getting into contracting, if you want a reputation as a quality high-end builder, this is how you achieve that. You come through and you straighten every single stud, or you fur every single stud, so the owner doesn't look at wavy drywall. But what's going to happen if they have guests over, they're having dinner, and the drywall's going in and out, looks like a track home? You know, they're going to say, oh man, who did this work? That doesn't look so great. You don't want that reputation. So, look over here. Everything looks good. You can see right here, they furred this one out. They planed those right there. Everything's sealed up, nice and clean. A little dark in here, but you can see it. Okay. All the joints on the ducting's all wrapped with insulation, right? You don't want any leaking in your heating and air ducts. Okay, you see he has this nice straight edge here, right? These like aluminum or magnesium straight edge. He puts that on here. He's making sure there's no gaps, no bows, not bowed in or out. Okay, nice and professional. Fur strips on this side. Fur strip right here. Okay, you see he's planed this stud right here. Planed it. You see that big pile of fur strips? They'll use every one of these. Look at this. Planed this block right here. Look, it's all planed nice and flush and smooth when you look down it. Okay, everything is nice and even. You don't want anything, we don't want any bumps behind the drywall, any knots or any nails or anything bumping the drywall out. Okay, you can see even playing this header up here, only to right here because it kind of bowed out a little bit. That's professional. That's what you want to do. This is probably the most expensive thing your client's ever going to pay for, and you want to give them a quality job every single time. Okay? There's one time to do it right, and that's right now. So he's going to plane this wall right here. All those gaps, sealed it all off with the foam. I mentioned before, this house would be the equivalent of leaving a 4-foot by 6-foot window open. Seal off all the gaps. See what he did? He had to plane this, so he had to unnail the electrical box, right? He didn't bust it up or hit it with his hammer. He unnailed it so he could plane everything and make it look nice and clean. He's going to plane these blocks right here. You can see real close. Look, see that block sticking out past? Right? He's going to plane that. Moving right along. Everything's looking good. So we're right on track. They're going to work here doing this today and tomorrow. So Monday and Tuesday will be insulation going into this house. Wednesday we call for inspection. Next week we have drywall being delivered, and then we'll start installing drywall. Hey, thanks for watching the video. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. Please hit the thumbs up and give us a like. It just helps YouTube to spread our videos out to other people. Let's go over a few things that we covered in the video today. Very important things before drywall goes in. So today's Friday. Monday we have our insulation being installed. So here's some of the things. If you're a contractor, you should have already been on the phone to the homeowner. And if you're a homeowner, you should have contacted the contractor to let them know what your needs and wants are before drywall goes up. Are the shower heads at the proper height? Is all the plumbing where you want it? Okay, are all the electrical outlets in and where you want them located? Is all your low voltage in and in the proper location that you want, where you're gonna put your TVs and your computers, all right? You wanna make sure there's backing in the wall, especially for those hot water heaters. We always like to put backing in the walls if it's gonna be a large TV going on the wall, because who wants to trust their $1,000 TV to $2 wall anchors, drywall anchors? So make sure that you're coordinating with each other. Collaboration is the key. I'll cover that in another video. Make sure you're in constant contact with each other, making sure you fulfill the needs and wants of the client. If you're a contractor, most important thing going on right now is what you hear going on behind me is stud straightening, okay? To produce a professional, high quality product, you need to be stud straightening, okay? Every stud, every fire block, every piece of lumber in this house needs to be straightened so there's no wavy walls. Nothing looks worse than that, okay? Build a reputation as a quality contractor. That's how you do it right here. So thanks again for watching. It's gonna be an awesome weekend. The weather is beautiful out here in Temecula, okay? There's hot air balloons that were up this morning, probably be 100 of those things flying tomorrow. It's supposed to be like 85 degrees. I hope all of you have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning into the channel. Please subscribe, follow us along on our other projects. We have grading starting on other projects. If you followed along on Dustin Williams' project, we finally got grading approval for his garage. So we moved equipment on site. We're gonna start grading that on Monday. So follow along on that one as well. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Paul Taylor with TCI Development. Hopefully you can learn something by watching our projects. That'll help you with your project. Have a great weekend.